Bloodborne is 10 years old at the time that I am starting the recording of this video. March 24th, 2025. Bloodborne is an incredible video game. It really immerses you in the hopeless feeling world. The atmosphere is phenomenal. I like the combat a lot more than the Dark Souls games because it rewards aggression. The bosses are both terrifying and awesome. And the DLC is possibly the best in the Soulsborne series. Yes, I think it's better than Shadow of the Erdtree. But the game has one huge problem. It's a PS4 exclusive. And it is locked to 30 FPS, which you don't really want a fast-paced game where you have to do very precise dodges to be at 30 FPS, because a lower frame rate means more input lag. Now, a lot of people don't understand this, and I think the only thing the frame rate affects is how smooth the game is. That is not true, and I don't know why people still think that way, but that's besides the point. Sony is basically holding this game hostage, and they refuse to do anything with it. Not only that, but they go out of their way to treat Bloodborne fans like a piece of shit on the side of the street. So that brings us to the title of this video. Sony's treatment of Bloodborne is almost as pathetic as they are. Where do I even begin? I know. The frame rate. So as I mentioned, the game is locked to 30 FPS, but somebody actually created a workaround for this. They created an unofficial patch that you could use on a jailbroken PlayStation to play this game at 60 FPS. Which proves that Sony could easily go in and put a 60 FPS update on the game for the PS5. They just refused to. But what's even more fucked than that is they actually struck this mod down with a DMCA claim. It's already bad enough that they're refusing to go in and do a simple update so people can enjoy the benefits of their PS5 hardware with this game. But the fact that they're striking this mod that hurts absolutely nobody is even more insane. People deadass said, Sony, can you update this game so I can benefit from my PS5? They say no. Okay, we'll do it ourselves. And Sony goes, fuck you, you're not playing the game at 60 FPS, lol. By the way, here's another slop Horizon remaster. Oh yeah, let's talk about remasters. So obviously in recent years, remasters have been a huge thing, especially on PlayStation. So Sony has the perfect opportunity to remaster Bloodborne. I mean, it's a perfect opportunity. Not only could they make the game look a lot nicer, but they could also allow people to enjoy a higher frame rate. And people really want this remaster. Every single time a state of play is about to happen, which is a PlayStation showcase, Bloodborne trends on Twitter. Horizon doesn't trend, Gran Turismo doesn't trend, Bloodborne trends. People beg for Bloodborne. Every time a state of play happens, you see people in the chat begging for a Bloodborne remaster. It would be such an easy opportunity to make money. So many people want it, yet they will go and remaster a game like Horizon Zero Dawn that already runs at 4K 60 and already looks really graphically good. And it's a mediocre ass game. And you know what happens when the game inevitably doesn't sell? They want to sit here and cry and bitch that people don't buy remasters. Start buying the remasters. Well, why don't you make the fucking remasters we want? But no, around the time of Bloodborne's 10-year anniversary, they'd rather remaster Days Gone, a game that came out in like 2018 and already looks beautiful on the PS5 and runs great. Single-player games now cost so much, which is why you need to buy remasters so PlayStation can keep investing in great new games, according to ex-Sony president. If only there was a game. I can't put my finger on it. And why don't you learn to fucking budget better instead of worrying about Aloy's peach fuzz? Like, do you really need to focus so hard on graphics that games take like fucking years and years to make? And the fact that they remaster games that already look and run beautifully makes it even more pathetic. So as I mentioned, Bloodborne is a PlayStation 4 exclusive, so you can't play it on PC. Well, unless you emulate, and we'll get into that later. But somebody decided to make a demake of Bloodborne, which is basically like a Bloodborne if it was on the PS1, and you can play this on PC. So it's a nice alternative for people to play on PC if they're fans of Bloodborne but don't own a PS4. You know what Sony decided to do? That's right, they struck it with a DMCA claim. And to rub extra salt in the wound, they did it right before a State of Play showcase just to show off nothing related to Bloodborne. They also did the 60 FPS patch around the same time, right before the showcase, so everyone obviously they got hyped up. They're like, oh shit, they're probably gonna show something off, that's why they struck it. But no, there was nothing related to Bloodborne shown at the showcase, and it was just an extra fuck you from Sony. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention they also struck a Bloodborne fan game called Bloodborne Kart? They struck all three of these mods right before the showcase. They knew damn well they were hyping people up for a Bloodborne remaster slash remake slash PC port just to disappoint us. So as I mentioned, you can emulate the game. Now Sony made sure to go on the internet and take down all the available ROMs for Bloodborne, just as an extra fuck you. So if you want to play the game, you'll have to get a jailbroken PS4 and redump your files and put them on your PC. But if you do have a copy of the game, you have the jailbroken PS4, or you managed to get the game downloaded before they struck all the shit, you can play Bloodborne right now on an emulator, start to finish, 60 FPS, with mods, even on lower end graphics cards. And while that's absolutely fantastic, it's not really the point I'm trying to make here, it's more about the principle. It's about the fact they won't remaster the game. It's about the fact that not only won't they remaster the game, but they won't even put out a 60 FPS patch. It's about the fact that when the fans take it into their own hands to make a 60 FPS patch, Sony will strike it while refusing to make one themselves. It's about the fact that they strike a harmless little PS1 remake of Bloodborne, or demake. It's the fact that all three of these strikes were right before a big showcase just to show off nothing related to Bloodborne. It's about the fact that today, on the 10th year anniversary of Bloodborne, they didn't even fucking acknowledge it. Which, by the way, they did for its 5-year anniversary. They couldn't even put out a tweet saying happy anniversary to the game. This is why console exclusivity is just complete AIDS. But before I go ahead and end the video, I want to go over the community's reaction to this. We really get nothing from Sony for Bloodborne's 10th anniversary. Not even a tweet just acknowledging the occasion. Shit is absolutely fucked, man. They just glazed the shit out of God of War for their 20 years, and they won't even do something simple for Bloodborne's 10th anniversary. What says you when they couldn't even tweet to acknowledge it? No happy 10th anniversary to Bloodborne, thanks for playing. The unofficial 60 FPS patch died for nothing. No recognition from PlayStation on Bloodborne's 10th anniversary, but we're definitely gonna get a tweet when fucking LEGO Horizon has been out for a year. Haha, I love how everyone's celebrating Bloodborne's 10th year anniversary, except for fucking PlayStation themselves. They give no shit about games. Where is Bloodborne announcement? You made one for God of War 20 year anniversary, but not Bloodborne's 10th. So yeah, as you can see, people are not happy with Sony here. I don't really have that much else to say. This is why console exclusivity is garbage, man. The prime example. Anyway, yeah, I don't really have that much else to say. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, you can leave a dislike and an angry comment. Alright, peace.